Life in the suburbs is supposed to be quiet, a refuge from the chaos of the city. At least that's what I told myself. After my divorce, all I wanted was a fresh start, a clean slate. I found this little rental home on a tree-lined street in a sleepy Ohio town. It was perfect. The houses were neat, the lawns were manicured, and the silence was profound, almost too profound. My first clue that something was off was the single streetlight on the entire block, and of course, it was planted directly in front of my house, casting a perfect, isolated circle of light on the asphalt. The first night, I was woken up by a sudden flash. I glanced at the clock. 2:13 a.m. The street light was flickering, buzzing erratically. I peeked outside. There was no wind rustling the leaves, no late-night cars passing by. The street was utterly still, empty. Just that one light, having a fit all by itself. I figured it was just faulty wiring, rolled over, and went back to sleep. But the next night, it happened again. This time, I was ready. I sat by my bedroom window, staring out into the darkness, waiting. The street remained cloaked in shadow. Then, just as I was about to give up, a flicker, a movement. I squinted, trying to make out a shape in the gloom beneath the lamp. But there was nothing. The street was as empty as before. The light pulsed once, then went out. It was unnerving. Over the next week, a chilling pattern started to emerge. The streetlight wasn't random. It was responsive. Every night, it would activate at the exact moment I moved past a window. If I went to the kitchen for a glass of water, it would flicker on as I passed the kitchen window. If I walked from the living room to the hallway, the light outside would flare to life as my silhouette crossed the pane of glass. It was like it was tracking me, a digital watchman. Its unblinking eye fixed on my every move within my own home. My quiet suburban dream was quickly turning into a paranoid nightmare. I started to feel like a specimen in a jar, observed by something I couldn't see. To test my theory, I decided to conduct an experiment. One night, I turned off every single light in the house. I sat on the floor in the center of the living room, perfectly still, away from all the windows. The house was pitch black, a void. I held my breath, listening. Outside, the world was silent. The street light remained off. 10 minutes passed 20. 30, a wave of relief washed over me. Maybe I was just imagining things, my mind playing tricks on me after the stress of the divorce. I let out a slow breath, and then it happened. A soft, cold glow began to fill the living room. Slowly, deliberately, the street light turned on, a steady, unwavering beam, flooding my house with its pale, artificial daylight. But I hadn't moved. I was frozen in the dark. It knew I was there. It was toying with me. The next morning, my hands were shaking so badly I could barely hold my coffee. I couldn't live like this, feeling hunted in my own home. I went out and bought the best security camera I could find. Mounting it on the second-floor window aimed directly at the street light. I needed proof. I needed to see what was out there. That night, I repeated my experiment, hiding in the darkness, waiting. As expected, the light eventually switched on. I waited an hour, my heart pounding against my ribs, before I finally dared to retrieve the camera and check the footage on my laptop. I fast-forwarded through the dark, empty frames. Then I saw it. The timestamp showed the exact moment the light had turned on, and standing directly beneath it, in the center of that perfect circle of light, was a figure. It was tall, unnaturally so, with long, spindly limbs. It had no discernible features. No face, no clothes, just a smooth, dark silhouette against the stark light. It was completely motionless, a terrifying statue planted in the middle of my street. And the worst part, it was tilted slightly, its form oriented directly towards my house. It wasn't just standing there. It was watching. It had been watching me all along. My blood ran cold. This wasn't faulty wiring. This wasn't a prank. This was something else. Something ancient and predatory. Every night, it had been out there, summoned by the light, its gaze fixed on me. The light wasn't the problem. It was a beacon. It was a dinner bell. I felt a surge of adrenaline, a primal mix of terror and defiance. I couldn't hide anymore. I couldn't let this thing, whatever it was, hold me captive in my own home. I had to face it. I stood up, my legs feeling like lead. I walked through the dark house, my eyes fixed on the illuminated window. The figure was still there, unmoving, a silent sentinel of dread. My hand trembled as I reached for the front doorknob. This was insane. But what was the alternative? To spend the rest of my life cowering in the dark? I took a deep breath, twisted the knob, and pulled the door open, stepping out onto the porch to confront the nightmare on my lawn. The moment my foot crossed the threshold, the world plunged into absolute darkness. The streetlight instantly went out. The silence that followed was heavier, more suffocating than before. I stood there blind, my heart hammering in the sudden blackness. The figure was gone. The light was gone. There was nothing, and then, from the shadows of the porch directly behind me, I heard a slow, raspy breath. Thanks for watching. If stories like this are what you crave, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a new video. Stay safe out there and check your stats. You never know who or what might be watching.